It started as an idea, it became a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. No one foreseen it happening, it just happened. But enough of the chit chat. It's game
Do you like
time!
football? Do you appreciate good commentary? Enjoy the factual entertainment we call podcast. You won't regret it. Tim, the GOAT to Joseph. Bruce, QB1, Stone. Tariq, Religious Jackson. Ryan, Hot Takes Lee. Reese, hat on backwards means business row. Together they form the football guys. Tune in while you can. They aren't on forever.
Clocked in, mind at work, stadium's my only church. IQUC, I come in first. NFL, I'll wait my turn. Brucey is the QB1, Timmy is the football nerd. Ryan's hopping on them takes, religious reap will bless with words. Last but not the least is Reese, he shows opinions over Hova. Speaks his mind while staying sober, spits his facts, come watch your show. Your hat is on backwards, you know it's for closer. You lucky they started the show that you're clover. Think that your brain is super, then over. Tune in while you can, you'll hate when it's over.
Hey, very happy Sunday to everyone. We are the Football Guys podcast, and as always, he is Tariq Religious Jackson. He is Tim the GOAT to Joseph. He is Reese hat on backwards memes business row. He is QB1 Bruce Stone. I am Ryan Hot Takes Lee. As a collective, we are the Football Guys. We love to talk about football, so that's what we're going to do for the next hour or so. So that being said, we got a couple topics we're going to go over tonight. We're going to get things started with it's kind of the talk around the football world right now, and that is Earl Thomas. He was found – he got in a fight with his wife. As you know, he lives in the Baltimore area. Got in a fight with his wife, left the house. His wife tracked him down on Snapchat through the Snap Map. So she went to where he was at, and he was actually at an Airbnb with his brother and a couple whores. So her and her friend actually ran up in the house. He was strapped. She put a gun to his head, and her friend had a knife on her, and she was prepared to use it. So let's turn it over to Reese. Reese, what do you think about this whole situation? Now there's talks that Earl Thomas, that the Ravens are exploring ways that they can cut him potentially. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes. Oh God, Earl, what were you thinking? Earl? But Earl, look, I understand. It's a good thing to have your brother. Your brother always got to have your back, something that I preach to my own kids, So I understand having your brother involved in things like that. But in regards to now with you and the Baltimore Ravens, I honestly don't think they're going to cut ties with him. I think just because of the fact of this is outside of football, this is his personal life, and I understand that sometimes it gets intermingled. But I think they're still going to keep him. He's an integral part of that defense. They needed safety help because they had Eric Whittle before, who was old as hell, getting toasted. So they bring in, Earl, man of GOAT, Thomas. So I think that, I think they're going to definitely discuss it with them. I don't think, mattering what happens as far as the league, because this could be under the misconduct league. I understand it's marital, but it's not. I don't think it's very similar to the Ray Rice situation because he didn't, hit his wife or anything like that. But, it might be some protocols that he may need to go through. I don't think a suspension probably will happen, but we'll see. It's a lot of speculation right now. That's all we can do. And honestly, man, we don't know what's going on between them and their marital status. We don't even know if this is allowed. I guess not if she would put the gun to his head. So, honestly, man, prayers to them, man, because you never want to see a family being disconnected because I believe he has children. So you never know how that's going to work. So I understand that, this is something that we got to talk about because it's football related. But at the same time, we're talking about a man's family and it's not just him that's going to be affected. There's going to be other people that's going to be affected with the situation too.
Okay. So I got a little bit of a different view on this.
Okay.
I get life is life, and then business is business. However, there's always that gray area, and that's what the Ravens are looking for in his contract right now. They're looking to see if, because he put himself in this situation. There's no question about that.
That's true.
I'm not saying I agree that his life should be turned upside down because something like this happened. However, when you sign a contract, you're agreeing to the terms of that contract from front to back, and from what, like, I know you see what you see just to get your, like, they put what they want you to read out there for clickbait.
Yeah, of course.
What the Ravens are really looking for is to make sure that because this is his fault, that he didn't go outside of anything that was in the contract that would have violated it. Because obviously, if so, they're going to void all that guaranteed money.
Yes,
and
sir.
They're going to drop him like a bad habit.
Right. Honestly, infidelity is not part of the code of conduct.
No, but he put himself in a situation where a gun was put to his head. I'm not talking about infidelity.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. He put himself in a dangerous
conduct detrimental to the team.
That's what it is.
That's the only thing they might get him on.
And that's what I was talking about.
But hang on, listen. So you're telling me?
Have you ever seen his contract?
Hang on a second. Hear me out for a minute, there, Mr. Contract Expert. Listen,
I haven't either. That's why I'm asking.
Hang on. Let me finish. So you're telling me if somebody came up and put a gun up to Wentz's head, right? It just, or somebody random. It don't matter if it's wife or somebody while he's out in the streets. He's going to get cut because of conduct detrimental to the team.
He's going to get he has the potential of getting cut because his wife caught him in a pop-up brothel.
They don't have to cut him, but they have to.
I'm calling a spade. He was in a pop-up brothel. He was.
Hey man, look, you had what's the owner? Carl, you had Kraft, you know what I'm saying? He went and got some street meat, you know what I'm saying?
He didn't get cut.
I mean, it's a little different when you're.
He went to a massage parlor. He went to a massage parlor like Rush Hour 2. He went to a massage parlor.
He got a happy ending. He didn't get
See what I'm
cut.
saying? The quarantine is messing up everybody, guys. It's affecting everyone, you know? So sometimes you're supposed to be on the road.
Hold up. That's the other thing that I didn't even bring up yet. We're in quarantine right now. We're supposed to be practicing social distancing. It's definitely not a good look for him.
This is what I'm talking about. I put this to my friends. I said, listen. So
you think he was?
Think of the ammo that she has right now, right? So she has the ammo. They said, you not only want to cheat on me, you want to cheat me during the coronavirus. So you want to risk bringing it back to my family and kids? Are you serious right now?
Listen, man. In all reality, he was practicing social distancing. He was 8 feet away from his wife. Right? Nobody knows how close he was to the working girls. No. But listen, let me just show you.
Were they playing Monopoly?
Yeah, exactly. They were playing Sorry, okay? You guys are.
Oh man.
Listen, no, for real.
No, now he's playing Sorry.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Look,
first of all, Ryan, the term is working girls. Okay, we don't speak of women in that way on this show. Okay, that's not, that could end up on like some show someday. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, look.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Absolutely. So look, Earl messed up. There's no doubt about it. But like you said, you got to separate business, right, from, the fact that that's a marital thing. All right? That's a marital thing. It's a lot different from what Ray Rice did, okay, to what Earl Thomas just got caught doing, right? So, and first of all, I would love to know how that got out in the first place, right? That's bad.
I guarantee you.
They said one of the. Oh, go ahead.
One of the hookers called. I guarantee one of the hookers called because
one of the working girls probably did call.
The wife running around with a gun.
It's been reported that she took, I guess, either two of her friends or family members, and they were recording it. They recorded it. So whoever she brung, they recorded the incident.
They probably had their Air Force Ones on too.
Crime 101. You never record nothing.
Man. Exactly.
Nah, bro, they were ready to stomp these. But I think that my personal opinion is, he's wrong. There's 100%. And you're right. He could get cut. I don't think he should get cut. Personally, I think that the Ravens are foolish if they do. Maybe suspend him, right? But he was, besides getting embarrassed by Derrick Henry last year, he was a big part of that team last year.
Yes.
And by the way, not a cool shot at Eric Weddle. Not cool, Reese. Not very nice at all. Eric Weddle was a solid safety, a very decent, ever-loving, hard-tackling safety. All right.
Nice beard.
I'm trying to say nice guy. But a great beard. Not a great beard. Okay. Bounced around the league a little bit. That's not cool. But no, in all reality, though, on my take on it, I don't think they should cut him. I think Earl messed up. He knows he messed up, really messed up, and I mean, but at the end of the day, I don't think he should be cut.
I also don't think he should be cut, but I do agree with Brian that the Ravens have a bigger issue than whether he should or shouldn't. They have to look at it as a PR nightmare. That
right.
They go on the road when fans are allowed back in. Earl Thomas on the field. Some fans might be yelling some unflattering stuff at him. Some people might, some people like to go high morality sometimes, even if they don't practice in their own life, and make an issue about it. Because, like I said, cheating is one thing. I mean, like I said, I don't know the exact number, but I imagine there's a pretty hefty part of every sports league that is unfaithful. But like Ryan said, a pop-up brothel where your wife and her friends and sister or whatever are coming in with guns and knives is a very bad look.
They came in to kill.
Yeah.
I mean, in all reality, Tim, it was a hotel. They were just stopping by because they were tired. They didn't want to fall asleep on the road. Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, listen, I'm having a little fun with it, but I'm not condoning that. The man has kids. I agree with Reese. Hopefully, I mean, prayers up. Hopefully they get that thing situated.
I mean, honestly, look, I understand, the traditions that we have in this world, and mattering how you get married. Look, I know everybody's marriage is not the same. So I don't want to get on that tip. So I won't say that whether he's right nor wrong on it. And why I want to say that, because I don't know what's going on between him and his, wife. That's between them. So upon that, but I do agree with you, Tim. It will be a PR nightmare because we have seen this before, within the NFL. Maybe not to this degree.
Especially on the Ravens.
Yes, especially on the Ravens.
That locker room's a mess sometimes.
It's crazy. So I know that they don't want to have something like this again. And the fact that he did not hit her, even though, supposedly from the reports that I've seen that, he took the gun away and things like that, but he didn't retaliate or hit her in the face. So that's great. Yeah. But of course, now having your marriage and things like that out there, as well as having one of your teammates saying, "What do you mean you're not going to answer any questions?"
Oh, man.
That is
put him down like that.
Hey, what did he say? Who was
Mark
that
Ingram.
again? That was
Mark Ingram.
Oh my goodness, bro!
He put out a tweet said, "I'm not trying to answer any questions, Mark." What you mean you're not trying to answer any questions?
Yeah, that's wild.
Here's the thing too, like
this just in, the football guys will have Nina Heiser on as a guest next week. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh wow.
Oh, bro, that's not cool, man.
We're gonna take a trip to a pop-up brothel next week.
Tune in next Tuesday. The football guys live from the Baltimore 19th Street pop-up brothel.
Oh my goodness! Hey, look, I want to still be able to go to sleep in my house. I tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Here's the one.
Here's the thing too. Like I don't know like what you think, but do you think like she's more mad that he was cheating, or that he's visiting brothels? Because like I don't know if I feel a different way about the two. I mean, like, if you meet one random person and make a mistake, it's different. But if you're visiting like hookers, I feel like that's a much higher cheating level.
I think you missed the mark on this one, Tim, because not only is he at a pop-up brothel, he opened the pop-up brothel. He paid for the Airbnb, and I'm sure he's sponsoring the women.
But wait. Is it confirmed that they were hired?
Yeah, it's very safe to assume there was about 6 women there, supposedly.
Nah, listen, there's nothing safe to assume.
Hey, in quarantine, it's hard to get some random chicks.
He's an NFL. He's a high-profile NFL player. He's a Super Bowl champion. There's no guarantees that those are working girls. They could have just been a few people who decided that it was. That I was trying to avoid those terms, but yeah, maybe. Okay.
Respectable girls.
You call a thought a thought.
Reek, what you got?
So, we obviously, I do not condone cheating on your wife. Being a married man and a man of faith, I obviously do not condone that. That being said, I do not feel that you should lose your football job for that because it is a civil matter. If it was criminal, if he took the gun from her and he decided to retaliate by all means, you got to go. But if Bill doesn't lose his job as president with Monica Lewinsky, why should he lose his job for doing something, in his business outside the football world, right? They're two separate entities, right? Even us as regular working men, if we were to have some infidelity issues, there's no guarantee that we would get fired from our job. I mean, it would be hell coming home from our job, but our job would not fire us for, doing stuff like that. So I definitely have thoughts and prayers for them. I do hope that they're, can work through this. I did see that the next day she, quote unquote, got him a nice diamond chain with him and his father. So the ironic thing about it is that his father is a pastor, so he's dealt with the Christian background. So you usually say that the pastor's kids are the more proud. So
oh man,
we'll see how that goes. But supposedly she gave him a chain and it was nice and blingy, and they all back together and it's all squared away. That sound good, but every argument is gonna come up. All us married men know that every argument that's coming up.
That's fact.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did that.
I'll
It'll be good for the next 15 years. It'll come up.
I also just
Years ago, I don't care. Right.
like Ryan said, Baltimore could save a lot of money if they cut him for this.
Well, so the first move they're trying to do is trying to void all the guaranteed money. That's step one, right? That's why
Yeah.
we had issues with Seattle. There's no more guaranteed money, so that's why he's giving them the middle finger and stuff like that. So that's the first step.
Real quick, Reek. I just want to, because Tim brought it back up about trying to. This just kind of shows you how much piece of shit NFL owners are. They really are, and the league treats.
Wait.
No, owners are shitheads. They're pieces of shit. They are.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on a second. All right. I'm not saying they're angels, Rye. Hang on. Paul,
They are.
Time out. Hot takes, Charlie. Listen, wait a minute. Let's have a
It's
conversation.
not a hot take. It's not a hot take.
No. Listen, these guys are protecting their investment.
Yeah,
Okay.
you also got to lump everybody together.
Yeah, that's a bold statement to say.
From what I
they're
heard,
great,
like
but-
Arthur, what's his name, Blank, the Falcons
Yeah.
owner.
He's. I
He
put a
takes
little
care of
respect on him,
everybody.
but at the end of the day, like the way they look at this, this is, and I agree. Like he shouldn't. Like my stance, I don't think he should be cut. Or is he going to be cut? Probably. I do think they're going to cut him, and they're going to find a way to get out of the guaranteed money because he put himself in a reckless and dangerous situation. These owners, they'll do this to anyone at any time when it's convenient for them to save a quick buck. His contract is pocket change to whoever. I don't even know the Ravens owner. I don't know if it's an ownership group or if it's an individual person. I don't even know who it is.
It's Bishotti.
Yeah.
It's Bishotti.
Okay.
He known for being with the culture too. So
It's not about that. It's not about saving the money for him.
Wait,
It's about
what'd you
saving
say, Reek?
the team.
he know be part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? He's very beloved in the African American community. The same.
So okay. So what you said about the owners, though, right? So look at the Steelers, okay? I just off topic for a second. Ryan
He's a piece
Shazier,
of shit.
is he? Is he really? Ryan Shazier is still getting a paycheck.
Because that's a PR
Ryan
nightmare.
Shazier.
Right. If they cut Ryan Shazier, because Ryan Shazier was injured on field. That's
He
a
don't
PR
have to-
nightmare if they cut him.
So,
He's also
paying him.
He's also the first guy to bring up the inequality in
right.
coaching in general.
Exactly.
You got it.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna say owners in general, like if you're comparing like a Jerry Jones to a Jeffrey Lurie, yeah, Jerry Jones is he's terrible. Like he's really all about his brain. He doesn't really care about the players. But you can't say that as a whole.
That's true not either because all the ex-Cowboys love Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
To a
but here,
degree,
but
Even
To a
guys
degree.
he cut.
Certain
Even guys
degree.
he cut.
but
Jimmy
so,
Johnson don't like him.
So they like Jerry
I know.
Jones for different reasons, right? Remember, a lot of them Cowboys that love him get in a lot of trouble. So what they do, he gets them out of trouble. Why? Because if I get you out of trouble, you can play for me. That's why Michael Irvin loves him. That's why they love him. But if he was a Saint, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on old films with Jerry Jones.
But listen. Just on the topic of owners for 2 seconds. The Steelers owner is far from a piece of shit. Okay, because he full benefits and everything for Ryan Shazier. Not even blinking an eye.
The only issue that he may have is if he fires Mike Tomlin, which I don't think he should ever get fired. He should play out his contract. If let it go, let it go. That's the only thing I have.
Wait, what?
Yes, 1,000%.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So here's why.
Any coach can get fired.
No,
He's not saying he's coach, but they'll have a
Exactly.
Especially in Pittsburgh, they have a long
Pittsburgh,
tenure
there
of
you go.
coaches. You see what I'm saying? And so it's
Right.
known. So
So
now
that's
if you're
what
going
I'm
to
saying.
cut him,
But
They
eventually you
don't,
have to move
right.
on, though.
Pittsburgh, they don't cut their coach. They don't fire their coaches. That owner does not fire their
I know.
coaches. They may
and he
say you
hasn't.
don't. That's what I'm saying. So they may say, all right, we won't renew you, but they don't fire you. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I missed it. Okay, yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
sure.
saying.
Okay.
If you don't want to
No.
extend him, that's something different.
Look,
You don't
Tomlin's
fire
not
the
going anywhere because Tomlin's a great football coach.
He is.
Okay. Tomlin takes crap at times and makes it something. But anyway,
He's never had a losing season.
I think
I
Tomlin
like Mike
needs a fresh
Tomlin.
start, though.
Yeah, there's no way that Pittsburgh's going to re-up on him. They're going to start.
Which is fine, but we were talking about just getting fired. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. He won them a Super Bowl. Once you win a team a Super Bowl, if they want to get rid of you, they let you ride out the contract.
That's right.
That's a rule of thumb, in my opinion.
not always, but yeah.
But they should. They should.
honestly, no. I think the Rooney family, they've been doing well in there. I mean, do I agree with you in a certain extent, Ryan? I mean, as far as the ownership, I think sometimes in some of the issues in which they have brought about, especially players' health, I just think it's sometimes a lie. I think they contradict themselves in what you're saying. Hey, we care about the players, but then now let's make more gains. And
if you compare it to NBA, oh yeah, they're definitely
honestly, if you compare
NBA has the best ownership in all sports.
It
No,
does
it does not.
because it's a
Yes, it
partnership.
does.
No,
It's a partnership.
It's because the players hold the stroke of the NBA.
Right.
They do.
Right, but it's a partnership. They see
It's
that,
a
okay, we
partnership.
need you, you need us. The NFL will see it that way.
It's not more of a dictatorship,
Right.
and
But
especially
the NFL,
Right.
the
But
players aren't as valuable.
And the NFL, exactly. Look at the college teams. How many college players come out every single year? Okay. There's people that lose their job every year, right? And and for all intents and purposes, the NFL is the most popular sport in the country, and it's starting to become the most popular sport in the world. All right.
Well, it's still got to wait for soccer, but the reason why is because
it's
everybody
getting
loves
there.
football.
It's football.
It's getting there.
Football's
It's
the more
getting there.
popular sport in America than basketball.
Right, and it's getting there. Tariq, you were in Germany.
Yes,
Reese, you were in
understand.
Germany. You've seen how popular that was in Germany.
Right.
You
But
see
if
it.
you compare that to
I-
Barcelona, no. If you
I'm
compare
not.
that-
Exactly.
I'm giving you an example.
Okay.
It's becoming more of a world-renowned sport than
Yeah,
it's ever been.
absolutely.
Of course, yeah. I'm
Also,
with that.
the 17-game schedule also helps players.
It
No, it
helps the
doesn't.
lower
It-
class players,
yeah.
which is fine.
Yes,
It helps lower class. It doesn't help your top tier players though. It does not.
But technically,
exactly.
yeah, but if you look at what the NFL players actually say they stand for, is they don't like elitism. And by not helping the lower tier players, that's basically elitism right there.
Right. So the issue with the players is that they think of just right now scheme. So
Yep.
a lot of 60% of the players make less than $1 million, something like that.
Yeah.
So they think about, okay, I need this extra game because I need an extra game check. They don't care about benefits after,
There's also too. Don't forget too. There's also more spots on the roster coming.
Right.
100%.
Right. So you look at that. You look at, well, I need to smoke weed because it helps me recover from these football games. So they say I'd rather have weed than get benefits after 5 years of football. They don't think about stuff like that. So when you have the older guys say, listen, no, these things are important, and they don't want to hear that. But the owners are like, okay, fine, we'll give you a little weed because I don't want to pay for medical benefits for your next 30, 40 years when you retire. So that goes to Ryan's point, where it's like, listen, you really don't care about the players, you care about your brand. If you really care about the players, and you instead of giving it, was it 51, 49% as far as ownership and the players, like stuff like that, you would give them lifetime benefits if you really care for the players. So
That'll
I get
eventually
what Ryan's
happen.
talking about with that, because they're more about the brand.
And honestly,
could
Bruce,
eventually
I hope that does happen. But the fact of the matter, as we're speaking of right now, it's not. And that's why I say a little bit of with the ownership along. Like, it took a long. We're in 2020. This game has been around for a long time, and now we're gradually getting to this point in which now you're still thinking, okay, like, look, we all know the players. A lot of fans don't really even know the owners. And a lot of those fans who are putting money into the stadium and so forth have no clue even who the owners is. Right. So your brand is all associated on the players. So my thing is, I understand protecting your investment, but sometimes you have some ownership, I won't say all, who go against that, who clearly who all they think about is them.
Reese, I'm not saying.
We got a little off topic here though. I want to bring it back down.
Before we move on, I just want to say something. Like, don't forget the NFL has a lot more going on than any other sport does.
Facts.
They have
60.
They have 53 guys. No, I'm saying like they have 53 players plus a practice squad. And how many guys turn over? Like if you gave everybody lifetime benefits, you know how many people there'll be?
Well, they make $20 billion a year. So I'm not going to give that as an excuse when you make $20 billion a year.
No, but I'm saying, is there a limit? Like, if you come in and you play on the practice squad for 2 years and never play a game, do you get lifetime?
Get lifetime benefits.
No. I'm thinking it's assuming how long you play. So I'm saying maybe 3 or 5 years in the league, you get that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you got to have a 3 or 5 year
I would think like 7 to 10 years.
I also think they
Treat it like the pension.
That's tough. Because here's why, Bruce. Here's why you don't do that. Because if you do that and the owners know that, they cut you before you get there, so you don't have to pay lifetime benefits.
You're not going to cut
an
elite player.
You don't know that.
It also depends on who you are, though. Like, you think Tom Brady needs your lifetime benefits, or
he makes more money with Under
Matt
Armour.
Stafford needs your
but
he's that one. He's the 1% of the 1%.
Exactly, he's exceptional. You know.
What about the running backs that can't play after 7 years? Do they get lifetime benefits? You know what I'm saying? They don't.
I get it.
I get what you're saying, but it's also a life choice. You don't have to play football.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Don't you old man, Reese. It's facts.
You don't have to play football. Yeah,
it's fact. You don't have to.
You don't got to go into the military.
Military too.
You don't have to. You know what I mean?
It's your choice. It's your choice to put that helmet on. It's your choice to go out there and put them out.
So do we feel
guys
like
in the military don't make $2 million a year either?
Hold on.
Trust me, because I would.
This is a good topic for another show. We could do a whole show about this. This is a really good topic.
Let's move on.
Yeah, so let's move on. So something we talked about before this show. I'm going to catch you guys a little off guard here. Ryan's hot routes. The best part about Ryan's hot routes is you don't know what's coming, nor do you know when it's coming, because it's right now. We're going to open it up. So today's hot route question is going to be, who's the most overrated player in the NFL and why? You each get 60 seconds to answer it.
I go first?
Yeah, I'm going to let Tim get started with this one.
Okay. This is very selfish reason on my part
I'm going to get your timer started, Tim. You got 1 minute starting now.
Okay, mine is Matt Ryan. And here's why. First of all, I think he's an overrated player. But mainly, 1 year in fantasy football, I needed 1 point to win. And he threw 6 interceptions, and he got me 0.8 points and cost me out of a big couple $1,000 league here. I missed the playoffs because this idiot couldn't give me 1 point. I mean, I think he's an overrated player. I mean, but this fantasy football, he took the spot of Rashad Mendenhall, who was before that the guy I hated most about fantasy football. Now Matt Ryan, me and him will never be simpatico. Matt Ryan is my arch nemesis. If I ever met him, I wouldn't fight him because I'm a grown man and I don't fight people for no reason. But I would think about fighting him. Put it that way.
No.
I would write a strongly worded letter to my congressman about him.
That's a good note to end on. All right. So Tim with the Matt Ryan, and he actually brought some fire with it. So I like that. Let's throw it up to. Let's go to the opposite end of the board. Let's go to my man Reek.
Let me know when you're ready.
You got, let me get this.
Hey, why are me and Reek opposites?
Exactly.
No, because you're at the bottom. He's at the top.
Good job. Good job.
We can't see that.
Good save. Good save. Good save.
Yeah.
Really good save.
Great save.
One second.
That's great. That is great.
Great save.
Oh man.
Great save.
All right, Reek, you are on the clock in 3, 2, 1, go.
Christian McCaffrey.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Christian McCaffrey.
Spicy.
Here's why. I think he's a good player. And it has nothing to do with him being a white running back. For people that are listening and feel like that. Here's why. A lot of his production is very fluctuated because they just give him the ball. But I feel like the way that they build this offense, they're not going to win. They will not. I'm telling you, they will not win with basing it on just Christian McCaffrey. He's not enough to get you over the top. I just don't feel like that. I think he's a good player. He can get you a lot of fantasy points. He'll get good production, but he's not going to win you a title. I'd rather have Saquon. I'd rather have Zeke. I like him. He's good. Good man of faith. He's a good player, but he's overrated. I'm sorry. He's overrated. He's not going to win you a title. I'm sorry. The way that they play and the way that he is used in that offense, they're not going to win long term.
Time's up, Mr. Jackson. Time's up, Mr. Jackson.
Hey, in my opinion on that, I don't think there's any running back in the league that could win anybody a title.
I agree with that.
No.
Eric Henry might
man.
do it for the Titans.
It hasn't happened.
He didn't do it last year.
No.
Right.
All right, so let's throw it over to my man Bruce. This should be a good one. I imagine it's going to be someone that wears a star on their helmet.
Actually, it's not going to be a guy who wears a starter helmet. So let me know when you're ready.
All right, you are on in 3, 2, 1, go.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, 2 years in a row in the playoffs.
He's the best running back in football.
And I get 60 seconds. Lamar Jackson. As much as I think the guy has a lot of talent, and I actually, after hearing his story when he got drafted, I pulled for him 2 years in a row. 2 different teams ran the same exact scheme to beat him. They made him throw outside the hashes. That's what they did. And he has a good arm. That's not the problem. Everything is predicated on the middle of the field with him. Everything. He's got those legs. He can run. Like, listen, he's ridiculous. But when the Chargers took their safeties and put them as linebackers, right? Nobody thought it was like, oh, yeah, whatever. But all of a sudden, he got shut down. It was lights out. This year, he struggled, and they didn't even need to put safeties as linebackers. They just ran a very similar scheme and made him throw everything outside the hashes. I think Lamar Jackson can improve. But right now, I think everybody's jumping on that train way too quick.
Time is up, Mr. Stone. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, he made good points. I can't. He made good points. He made good points.
When we get to the end, I'll tell you who I agree with the most of everyone.
At the end, I got something to add. I got something to add to that. But I only get a minute, so go ahead.
Well, no, that's the point of this topic. You don't get any more time.
Oh, well, since Tim put something up on a side note, I saw something on social media. If you need a game-winning drive with a minute 10 or 60 seconds or something,
we'll say that. Pick? Well, let's not talk about that because you're just drop it like a bad habit. To be continued. Oh
man, my blood was boiling, bro. Go ahead.
There's a reason I saved this man for last, and that's because he always brings the heat on this kind of stuff.
Man.
I kind of wish the hat was on backwards now because I know you got to turn the hat around before I throw it to you.
Hey, I hope y'all like my new draft hat. Appreciate it. Look at that.
That's a nice hat.
Oh, NFL logo.
It's on backwards, so you know it means business.
Yeah, it's the wrong color, bro.
Oh,
so
you're not gonna like this color.
The one, the only. Reese, hat on backwards means business. Row, you on the clock, starting now.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, and this is going to be very dear and near to you guys' heart. But the most overrated player in the NFL, as we all know, there's no doubt about this.
I knew it. Go ahead.
Carson Wentz, guys.
I knew it.
Carson Wentz.
Biggest bunch of biblical bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
I'm muting everyone.
I got my 60 seconds. And with this, now I know that he is a man of faith. And he's going to need God someone's going to have to put hands on him so he can be on the football field, guys. And I understand, coming out of, North Dakota State, he was supposed to be the hot man. But guess what? In 4 years, he has 0 playoff wins. Yes, I understand the man doesn't have this, doesn't have that, but we talk about a guy probably being a top 5. And he has a Super Bowl win, not because of him, because of a guy that's no longer here in Philadelphia. So Carson Wentz, once again, is the most overrated player because of the fact that he cannot get the job done. He had just flat out has not got the job done. Stats-wise, he had one really great year.
Time's up, Mr. Yeah, it's my bad.
I need more time.
That's enough out of you, Reese.
Okay. All right. And now, who's yours, Ryan? Who's yours?
That's a good question. Mine was actually already mentioned. I'm not going to say who it was. You guys probably wouldn't guess who it was because it's not who you think it was. My initial one would have been Lamar Jackson, actually. I think he's a running back. He's a running back without the build. Plain and simple. But let's go a different route. I'm going to go Julio Jones.
Ooh, wow.
That's a hot take. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, man. He doesn't score touchdowns.
Tim just hit the nail on the head. Julio Jones is scared of the end zone. Julio Jones will catch for 2,000 yards and have 2 touchdowns in the season. He gets 1 touchdown per 1,000 yards. It's not a lie. The numbers say so.
Okay.
I agree.
I just have one question, Ryan. I just want one question then. Can he throw himself the ball?
Matt Ryan can put that football there. He gets 2,000 yards. It's about getting in the end zone.
So my question is, can we look up the analytics of how many targets he gets in the red zone? And then if they're comparable to other elite wide receivers, then you got a point. But if it's not,
he got like 70 against Eagles.
Yo, this topic drives Falcons fans nuts. People talk about this. This is talked about. Listen, I love Julio Jones. I think the dude's amazing.
Oh, I like Julio a lot, but he's overrated.
Right. Going 9 games without a touchdown. I don't care if your dog, Ryan, is throwing him the football. You can't go 9 games without a touchdown and be as talented as Julio Jones.
But you can't. If your dog is not throwing you the ball, what can you do? He plays a dependent position. I guarantee you he's open.
But the yards are there. The yards are there. The touchdowns aren't. He is getting thrown the ball.
My question is, if you're not getting
making a great argument here.
You're asking him to take things 30, 40, 50 yards and score. That's hard.
He gets paid like he should be doing. He gets paid like he should be doing so.
Right. To defend Reek, but I do agree with some points you're putting out there. This man really does have to work hard for his touchdowns. He really, really does. I mean, think about the touchdown that he scored against the Eagles on the screen pass. Like, yeah, it was some pretty good blocking, but I mean, all game, he kills the Eagles, absolutely annihilates us. But like,
Eagles, the red zone.
Right.
Yeah,
and so in the red zone, he don't get the ball. They rather run with Devontae Freeman.
So, he has to kill him everywhere.
Don't throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Well, time out. Does it have to be? We all talk about how fast Julio is. We talk about how big pause how Julio is, and we talk about him just being so exceptional, right? So if you want to put the ball in man's hands, he's supposed to be a home run hitter. So it doesn't matter where he gets the ball. You know what I mean? So honestly, I was kind of against this, but now you think is how many catches he's had and how many yards he get. What is it that he's not doing to get in the end zone?
And then you have to look at the targets. You compare the targets. AP, they're not close.
You getting 100 some odd catches a year.
Hold up.
5 touchdowns.
But he don't get 100 catches a year. That's the thing. He gets like 85, 90.
Wait, you want to put the proof in the pudding? And Reek, you watched this with your own eyes. Ryan, you seen it, and you Niner fans definitely saw it. All right. Mm-hmm. A couple years ago, when the Eagles were on that magical run to the Super Bowl, right?
It happened twice. There was 2 situations.
Wait. Let me finish. Right? How tall is Jalen Mills? He's 6 foot.
6
How tall is Julio Jones?
6'3".
6'1".
6'3".
Okay, 6'3". Okay.
6'3".
That ball that was thrown to him in the end zone was catchable.
Mm-hmm. He didn't perform.
Forced him out of the end zone.
Yep.
With the game on the line. Right?
He jumped
for a
too
chance
early.
to go to the NFC Championship game. Just saying.
Yeah. Hey, and Reek, to your point, look, in the last 3 years, my man has, I believe, almost 300 catches. He had last year he had 99. The year before that he had 113, and the year before
88.
that he had 88, right?
Then 83.
So 88.
83, and then 136, bro, and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, but look at the yards, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, great yards, 1,800 yards. But once again, what are you doing?
You're playing into my argument now.
Yeah, but that's not horrible.
136 catches and only 8 touchdowns?
He has 57 touchdowns in his career.
Time out.
Wow, bro.
Time out. If Julio Jones isn't overrated, and that's an argument for you, Christian McCaffrey sure as hell ain't overrated.
The difference is he doesn't play a dependent position. Christian McCaffrey's a running back. He can run.
How many receptions he had this year?
Huh?
Yeah, you also need you also need a good line. You need a bunch of stuff.
Yes, you do. You're running back. You're very dependable on the offensive line.
Christian McCaffrey is the best right now. Last season,
Julio averages
back in football.
Right. But
hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Julio averages 6.3 touchdowns a year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's only been one time.
But here's my thing.
Tim, can you look at something for me real quick?
Sure.
How many touchdowns does Nelson Aguilar average per season? I'm
just
just curious.
Say some
Oh my God.
Nelly.
I know the answer. Tim, go get it real quick if you don't mind.
Freaking Nelly.
You know what's wild about what you just said, though? Realistically, though, there's wide receivers that make a quarter of his money that score more touchdowns.
That's what I'm going to get at. Nelson Aguilar is
Yes.
getting league minimum right now, and is, if I'm not
Just over
mistaken,
five.
is just over 5. So for one,
No,
so
hold on, wait, no, 18. It's 18 total touchdowns. Just over 3.
3 touchdowns a year.
okay.
You can
Yeah,
bring,
Nelly
so
only
you can bring
blew up the 1
3.
year, yo.
Yeah, 3
So
to 6.
for 12 times what they're paying Nelson Aguilar, Julio only produces twice as much. He only doubles the production of what Nelson Aguilar does. 3 times the money.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If Julio had Big Ben, who do you think has a better career, him or AB? Well, all he does is get the ball.
Wait.
They both got Big Ben towards the end, so Big Ben's not the same Big Ben.
No, Matt Ryan's not Big Ben. Big Ben.
I take AB anyway. I think AB might have been the best wide receiver.
If you give Julio Big Ben, he might have more touchdowns than Randy Moss did in that Super Bowl year.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but-
Let's go on.
Negative.
That's spicy.
Wait. I have
Negative.
another guy here, right?
Negative.
He's had far worse quarterbacks than Matt Ryan.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Who in less years has, only
Yep.
3 less
Yep.
touchdowns.
In less years.
Yeah, only has 3 less touchdowns.
And I think he has like, what,
Wait,
54?
wait.
Yeah,
Let's-
54, correct?
I see a lot of similarities between Deshaun Watson and Matt Ryan's too.
But wait, now look. Now I'm gonna give you D-Hop because I'm glad you mentioned that, Tim. So D-Hop, first year 2 touchdowns, second year 6, third year 11, fourth year 4. So he didn't get Deshaun until 2017. So time quarterback play don't mean nothing because once he got Deshaun Watson, 13, 11, and 7, big difference when you have Brian Hoyer.
He had 11 in 2015.
Okay, so he had 1 year of 11. Julio had a year with 10.
Yeah, but he's had Matt Ryan his whole career, who might not be a great
Exactly.
quarterback, but he throws the ball a lot.
Yo,
He's
and
on the
wait
top.
a minute.
He's in the top 10.
I know
of
Matt Ryan.
quarterbacks.
Listen, I know Matt Ryan has been trending down, but the year they went to the Super Bowl, Matt Ryan was performing as one of the top QBs in the league.
Right,
If not
and that's the year that Julio had 136 and
The year
1,800
Kyle
yards, and yeah,
Yes.
did he win Offensive Player of the Year? That
So
year?
it's not
But
really
once
all
again-
about Ryan though. It's just as much about the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Again, I'm
but-
throwing him the ball in the red
But hold
zone.
on, time out. If you get 136 catches and 1,800 yards and you only get 8 touchdowns, bro, that's on him. That's somebody's not getting into the end zone.
I gotta look.
You are not taking the ball. Guess what? We talk about Odell Beckham, right? Odell Beckham had a down year, but still had 1,000 yards with a sorry quarterback in Baker Mayfield. He had 4 touchdowns, and he didn't get a lot of targets. That's a guy who's taking the ball.
He didn't get that. He only had them even less targets than Landry. He had a decent amount of
You
targets.
know the guy who had a better touchdown career than Julio Jones? Doug Baldwin.
Yes, he finds the end zone. We know that.
Here's another one for you Eagles fans here. There's a receiver on here that's played more years than Julio but has less touchdowns. That everyone swears is the number 1 receiver.
Sean
Jackson.
Yes.
I don't think he's not a number 1 receiver.
He's a number one.
Listen. He's not a number 1 receiver, but he can do stuff. He can do one thing that 70% of the league can't do.
Right.
He's a walking touchdown.
That's like Tyreek Hill. People can
You
say
don't have a
Tyreek Hill's
safety.
not a
If you don't have a safety over the top, he is no. There's no.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
doesn't walk a lot though.
Listen. Stop it. Listen, and that's not only him. There's not many people you could say in the last 15 years that has been a better deep threat pause than Deshaun Jackson.
He is.
So, you could
argue he's the best deep threat receiver in history because he has the most touchdowns of over 60 yards. In NFL,
But isn't that what we're supposed to be putting Julio Jones? You talk about all the yards that he's getting, but once again, you get 1,800 yards and only 8 touchdowns. That's something to do with you. You're clearly getting the ball. You're clearly getting the ball, but you are not getting into the end zone. By whatever shape, form, or fashion, you are not reaching the end zone.
Just real quick
I need one thing to go to this point, right? Somebody look up Megatron's stats.
I was just about to do that.
Real quick though, while Tim does that, 1,800 yards and 8 touchdowns. That means he has to get 225 yards before he scores a touchdown. That's insanity. That's 2 games of production.
Wait. Listen,
that's crazy.
Let's address this real quick, okay?
Megatron had 83 touchdowns.
Yeah,
exactly.
How many touchdowns? Wait, and how many years?
Same amount of years as Julio.
And how many?
5, 6, 7.
I think
Yeah,
less,
he-
right?
9.
8.
He had 9 years. 9 years. He played 9.
Is it
How many
9?
years has Julio played?
Julio's played what? 7?
Megatron,
How many
No.
touchdowns does he have?
9.5 per
touchdowns?
year.
How many
Well,
touchdowns does
9.2
Julio
a year.
have?
Yeah, he's got 9.
6.3.
Okay, now let me get to my point, okay? I've heard people on this show, I've heard people out there call Matt Stafford overrated. Okay? How come it's okay to call Matt Stafford overrated, but say Megatron might be one of the best receivers we've ever seen, right?
Okay.
No, wait, let me finish.
Go ahead.
But then you got everybody plays down the fact that Matt Ryan does throw the ball. He does give Julio Jones chances. Okay?
No.
I mean, dude, the game was on the line in Philly, and he didn't come down with it.
So you're complaining for one ball that he didn't get. Now, if you're gonna do that, what about you threw the catch he caught in the Super Bowl that only he can make?
Listen, the second half, he made what, one big catch?
What, in the second half of our game?
No, in the
Against
game, the Super Bowl, 28-3, one big
Yes.
catch.
Yes.
You don't disappear. When the one thing I think that some people believe that Julio lacks, and it's hard to argue it, he lacks dog.
No.
Yes. Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
He's a pup.
You can't throw yourself the ball.
But look, his
Bro,
production.
If I
is
show you the
yards.
targets versus Antonio Brown, it's mind blowing. Just like Calvin Johnson, you just forced him the ball. Matt Stafford just threw him the ball. He threw him the ball.
Okay, so if Matt Stafford's overrated and Matt Ryan's overrated, you're just saying, okay, because he's throwing the ball. Okay, fine. But the fact of the matter is that he's gotten opportunities and he hasn't taken advantage of them.
He hasn't. He has not.
Calvin Ridley
He has
scored
not.
more than him last year.
That's a telling tale.
I'm going to look at red zone targets and get back to you.
Go ahead.
But why?
All right,
my point is this: it should not matter once you get into within 20 yards.
It does,
He's such a
because you're
home run
asking,
threat.
you're asking him to score from 30 yards out every time he scores. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm not saying it's every time, but my thing is, if he's supposed to be a home run hitter and he's supposed to be such a dynamic player as we are paying you to be, you should be producing more in the touchdowns for us to win games.
So
sometimes you are not doing that because you are either getting hawked or getting pushed out or not having enough dog in you to break that last tackle.
So my question to you
are
is,
not getting it done.
My question to you is, how many? Go ahead. I was gonna say, how many of these touchdowns do you feel like these are over 30 yards? Because I don't know. I got to look at how many touchdowns he has. So he has 57 touchdowns. I won't be surprised if 30 of them are over 30 yards. That's a lot.
Right, listen, this is a conversation for another day.
But go
We
ahead.
can talk about this all day.
Julio just texted me. He said his ear's ringing, so we got to move on.
He should be.
That being said, we got one more topic we wanted to cover, and we saved the best for last. Is obviously this is the real news in the football world. The 2020-2021 season schedule has dropped, and as you know, the Chiefs will be playing Thursday night football against the Houston Texans to start the season. They did take a year off from that last year for the 100-year anniversary. They did the Bears-Packers on Thursday night. Patriots got pushed to Sunday. I kind of like that because I didn't really give a shit about the Patriots last year. That team was very uninteresting. That being said, our man Tim the Goat the Joseph went through the schedule weeks 1 through 17 and picked out the games that he thought were key games to check out this year. And so from top to bottom, starting week 1, we got the Chargers-Bengals in week 1. That's definitely worth watching. You're going to see Joe Burrow versus hopefully Justin Herbert. Hopefully they don't give who's that bum that used to play him, but Tyrod Taylor. Hopefully he don't get to start with for San Diego, L.A. My bad. Start the season. Week 2 we got Patriots and Seahawks. This will be the Patriots' first time going without Tom Brady going up against a playoff team from the previous season. That's going to be on Sunday Night Football, so you'll get to hear who are those jokers that do Sunday Night Football? What's his name? Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth, yeah.
Yes.
Not too many good announcers out there. Anyway, week 3 we got, which I think is this has Game of the Year potential written on it, and we're only in the 3rd week of the season, and that's Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs heading up the road to Baltimore, and they're going to be taking on Lamar Jackson's Ravens. Lamar Jackson's Ravens had a really good draft. As did Chiefs too, though. Chiefs had a pretty good draft, so that should be a good one. Week 4, this is probably going to be – and just to go off topic real quick, This is something we're actually planning something big for the show. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But it's been no secret. We as a podcast, we consist of 3 Eagles fans and 2 Niners fans. No other type of fandom in this group. So we're looking at a few options to do a live in-person show for that. More on that later. We got the Eagles Niners.
And a bet, too. We'll have a bet, too. We don't know what it is yet.
Absolutely. We'll be doing the podcast in dresses. The losing team will have to record.
Nah. We're going to do something a little more accurately football-ish. That's not happening.
That's Thursday night for Bruce.
We got
okay.
So that's why we don't record on Thursdays. So week 4, we got the Eagles at Niners. That's going to be not only a good game. That is Sunday Night Football once again. Not only is that going to be a good game, that means a lot to everyone in this group. Should be a good one, and I'm sure that we would have agreed that's something we could have looked into traveling for. But unfortunately, world circumstances have other ideas. Week 7, nothing exciting too much for weeks 5 and 6. We got the 49ers at the Patriots. Jimmy G makes his triumphant return to New England coming off of a Super Bowl run last year. With the
after Brady leaves.
After Brady leaves. So Bill Belichick might be smelling himself a little bit come week 7.
Yeah.
Up in Foxborough.
He's going to be tanking, so we're going to win that game, so it's all good.
Yep. Yeah, fucking right he is. So also in week 7, another good game, we got the Chargers heading down to Miami. So you're going to get to see 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks off the board. The ones that everyone debated about who would go first, Tua versus Justin Herbert. Because I think we could all assume if he's not starting by week 1, he'll definitely be starting by week 7, Justin Herbert. Because Tyrod Taylor fucking stinks.
Unless they're undefeated.
Yeah, that's true.
Tyrod Taylor, he's not as bad.
I'm not entertaining that right now.
You don't need to entertain it. It's bad.
So anyway, another big game for
Disrespect.
This is week 8. Another big game for 3/5 of our podcast, and that is the Dallas Cowboys coming up to Philadelphia to play the Eagles in some Sunday Night Football action. Eagles got a lot of love for national games this year. So did the Cowboys out. On that note, the Eagles will be playing in 4. The Cowboys playing 5. Schedule makers kind of – the way they laid the schedule out, it would leave you to believe that the guys making the schedule think the Cowboys might be winning this division.
What a waste of good TV.
Here's another game of the season potential, in my opinion. No, actually, this one's in Tampa Bay, so I wouldn't say that. Saints at Bucks in Sunday Night Football in Week 9. So this is their second meeting of the year because I believe they play Week 1 in New Orleans.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's game of the year potential, in my opinion. That's going to be a great game.
Game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
Week 1.
depends how much Brady gets to prepare.
Yeah.
True.
Limited time with receivers, limited time with the offense. So I think that's why I put the second game over the first game because they'll both be in a rhythm by then.
Because Brady's he's huge on timing. He's all timing.
Facts. In that first game, Gronk will get like 10 targets. That's all I know. I know you're Gronk.
He might be being generous.
Yeah.
So anyway, we gonna sleep through weeks 10 and 11. Ain't nothing really worth waking up for in those times. We come into week 12, and Mr.
Look at
Wonderful.
that. Week 10 11 made Tariq leave.
Arguably the best quarterback on the planet, Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're gonna go out to Tampa Bay to take on the GOAT.
Tom Brady die? Tom Brady die?
Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback on earth right now.
Tom Brady die?
Well, no, they're going to play the old time
until Tom Brady leaves this earth, or at least until he retires. It's hard to argue with a guy who has 7 Super Bowls.
Well,
I know.
6.
I know.
6.
Whatever. My bad. 6. No.
You got 6.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
You got 6.
Yeah,
Bruce is
whatever.
seeing the future.
You get my point. Yeah, I know.
Hey, man, you put money down already for the Bucks.
You got to get back to the future.
Jump ahead to week 13. We got 2 games worth focusing on. We got I really think this is an interesting matchup because obviously you only see it every 4 years, and it's going to be on Thursday Night Football, so I might be putting an off slip for work in for that Friday. We got the Cowboys venturing up to Baltimore to play the Ravens.
That's
a
going to be
very interesting matchup.
That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, really good game. Also in week 13, we're going to see Joe Burrow again He's going to be facing off for the first time in his career first time in the NFL against Reek's favorite rookie quarterback, Tua.
Talk
Or
about
Cam
Noah.
Newton.
Yeah,
Or
you got
Cam,
it.
or Cam Newton.
Or apparently Cam Newton. Skip over
Maybe
Skip
Dan
over to
Marino.
week-
We don't know.
Maybe Cap. Who knows?
Skip over to week 15. You
First
got
cat reference.
once again, Mr. Mahomes. Him and the Kansas City Chiefs head into the Superdome in New Orleans for the first and the last time that you will probably the first and the last time, barring both those teams making the Super Bowl this year, that you'll see Pat Mahomes versus Drew Brees.
That's a spicy game right there.
That's a spicy game, and that's week
That
15.
that might be 50-47.
Yes.
It could be.
Christ.
It could
And
be.
Reek Hill
Might be-
indoors?
Might be 80
Oh, yeah.
77.
It's gonna match. It's like a match score for real.
Yeah.
And we skip through week 16. That's kind of one of those boring phases. That's when you see starters getting pulled. There's no big games really that week.
What do you mean? The Eagles play the Cowboys.
Yeah, but at that point, it's usually
What do you mean?
last year the division was on the
Are
line.
you all right? You know what I mean?
Tim kind of screwed me here.
No,
he gave me the list.
I gave you one Cowboys game. You can't put both Cowboy Eagles games.
Well,
Both of them on there.
he
Jesus
said it
Christ.
and nothing's important. So I said, wait, hold on. That's
Yeah, you could have just left it. All right,
Not
so all right, we'll skip by it. That's fine.
Go
we
ahead.
got
That's
for the
fine. I
last
just say it's
I,
important. That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
I mean, there's a lot of important games I left off there. I mean, but,
100%.
Yeah, he just
100%.
said it wasn't important. I just want to make sure it's
No,
important.
I'm
it's all
just
good.
using that to play it for the crossover. Anyway,
ahead.
we skipped.
I
I
got you.
love the week 17 matchup. I believe it was the week 17 matchup last year also. You get the Seahawks at the 49ers, and that game's probably going to mean something.
Oh yeah.
Barring the Arizona Cardinals not being the time. As you guys know, I think the Arizona Cardinals surprised a lot of people this year. But anyway,
dude, they're only going to win 7 or 8 games. Go ahead.
hey, well, that's a huge
That's a
step up
surprise.
from what they won last year.
Better with
That's not a
D-Hop.
division.
Should give you 3 wins.
Yeah, that's true.
But go ahead.
So, yeah, we got the Seahawks at the 49ers, and I noted next to this one because obviously they don't set Sunday night and Thursday night games. This definitely has flex potential, and I think there's a very good chance that this game gets flexed to Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
It did last year, and I think history does repeat itself this year. There's not much else to say about that schedule. I mean, we all agreed these were some pretty solid games to note.
No question.
Thanks, Tim, for forgetting about the Cowboys-Eagles week 16. You made me look bad.
It's okay.
That being said, the best part about Ryan's hot routes is you don't see it coming. So it comes back around for round 2 in tonight's show.
Oh,
And my question for you guys is, which team is going to drop the ball this year? Which team that should be making it to the playoffs or at least being in the playoff hunt? Which team isn't going to be in that hunt? Which team's going to be a letdown this season? And, I'm gonna let Mr. Reese Rowe get started this time.
Okay. I hope this happens. But
Wow.
as we talked about it, Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to have a drop off this year, as you guys just noted. I think within the division, I think it's going to be actually tough. I don't see, of course, the 49ers doing what we did last year, especially with the strength of schedule. But along with the Seattle Seahawks, I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals did get better. Also, we also forget about the Rams. I think they're going to make a resurgence and do some work. I think they're going to surprise team. Every year, there's surprises. And pretty much we've gone from it was in that division, it was first the Rams, now us, and Seahawks been kind of steadily in that conversation each and every year. I think this might be the year that pretty much that they're going to be the ones that's going to be fall off and not make it to the playoffs. They, kind of got into it last year, but I believe this year is going to be the reason that they don't. I don't think Russell is going to get it done. He had to almost have pretty much an MVP season for them to go. I believe they went 10-6 last year. So I don't think he's going to be able to repeat that again unless they get more help, in which they really did not. I understand you're going to have another year with
Time is up, Mr. Rowe, unfortunately. So we're just going to hang it on the clothesline there. That being
I
said,
got more for you. Never mind.
Well, I'm sorry. That's not how this game works.
Damn it.
Son of a.
let's get the Niners fans out of the way. So let's go with Tim here.
Okay, so my hot take's not going to
Actually, let's throw it over to Tariq. Sorry to cut you off, Tim, but I'm gonna.
He hot routed me in the middle of life.
Yeah, see today Ryan's hot routes.
Yeah.
So for me, the team is the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs this year. I think they're resurgence of Tampa Bay. When I look at the season that they had, I think Stephon Diggs is a bigger loss for them than they think. Dalvin Cook had an elite season, so they're going to need him to do that again, and I don't see it. I think Dalvin Cook's a great running back. I wanted him for the Eagles, but after they have the offensive line for him to continue that success. Kirk Cousins is that that overachieving quarterback, right? So he had a great year with the play action, the bootleg and stuff like that. Obviously, the league is a copycat league, so they're going to see it coming. I think they maybe do 9-7, 8-8. If they do get in the playoffs, they'll probably be a 7th seed. But I'm taking them to not make the playoffs this year. I'm taking the Vikings not to make the playoffs.
Gotcha. I kind of agree with you there, Reek. All right, let's start it over to my man
It's
Bruce.
BS, Reek.
Actually, real quick, I'll get mine out of the way because I don't got too much to say about it. Mine's plain and simple, and it's going to be in the same division that Reese Rose was in, and that's going to be I think the Los Angeles Rams. They're not going to finish in second in that division. They're definitely not finishing in first. That's no secret. They're not going to finish in second. They're not going to finish in third. They're going to be the 4th place team in that division.
Oh, boy.
Bruce hit the nail on the head already. The Cardinals are going to win 7 or 8 games. The Rams are not winning 7 or 8 games. I'm sorry to do this to Ray Kleinmeyer, who, as everyone knows by now, he won our contest. Shout out to Ray for all the people he brought to the page because he did bring a good amount.
Right.
And the guy that made our song, too.
Oh, and yeah, as well, Jordan. I'm sorry to do it to Jordan also. Guys, this is nothing personal, but the Arizona Cardinals took a step up. They went and got the best wide receiver in football. They got arguably the best defensive player in the draft. He plays defense. He doesn't have a position. The 49ers were in the Super Bowl last year and only got better this offseason. The Seattle Seahawks, I agree with Reese that they're going to take a little bit of a step back. I still, because of the 7-team format, I think they make it to the playoffs. They might be at that 6 or 7 seed. The Rams did nothing. The Rams got worse this offseason. They got rid of Todd Gurley and replaced him with Cam Akers, who he's a good running back, yes, but you don't know what they are until they step on the field in the league.
That's true.
They also got Henderson, though, who's a pretty decent back in his own right. Whatever. What has Gurley done the last couple of years? Stop. Go ahead, Rod.
But my point is they did nothing to improve themselves.
They gave the farm for Ramsey. They went all out the last year for the Super Bowl.
And you know what? And I said this to Ray on Facebook today too. The Rams better prepare for some bad times because Aaron Donald is very close going to be asking for a trade. That team is in a ugly position. They have no first next year either. And I think Jalen Ramsey's going to leave at the end of the season when his contract's up too. I wouldn't stay. I wouldn't stay.
They got to try to.
Guess what? You can go get the same money somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that Aaron Donald got. Well, not everybody had.
I don't know if they can afford Jalen Ramsey.
That's what I'm saying. You trade 2 firsts for a guy who can't afford.
But listen,
you know where you should look for Jalen Ramsey. Well, hold up. I want to finish get my points across here. Jalen Ramsey. There's a lot of teams coming up with the Cleveland Browns. That's a much better situation than the Los Angeles Rams. The Houston Texans. Talk about how to turn around an organization real quick. They got all the cap space now, and like Tim said, what was that?
Ramsey was getting crushed last year when he got there. He had 2 good games.
I know, but I'm talking about from a branding thing.
He also might not fit in LA.
True.
Yeah, very true.
It's true.
And Aaron Donald is going to request a trade when Jalen Ramsey leaves.
Which he'll get a first-round pick for, but go ahead.
More
Absolutely.
Than 1.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know.
That's a king's ransom. He's arguably one of the best defensive linemen of all time. I don't think that's a stretch.
He makes a lot of money, though, and he's a good older.
He does.
You're right.
That's true.
All times a stretch. Right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, right now he is the best in the league. But anyway,
Yes.
I got nothing else on that. The Rams will, though. I guarantee this. cut this out of this episode and put this on. I don't care where you put it, but just remember this: the Rams will finish 4th in the West this year. I'm gonna throw it over to Bruce.
Oh, so, I'd love to say a team like the Baltimore Ravens, but I think the Ravens are going to be pretty damn good this year. I think the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans caught lightning in a bottle last year. Last year was their best chance to get to the Super Bowl, right? I think Tannehill's serviceable, right? But once teams start loading that box up, it's going to be a different story for Derrick Henry. Like, he's not invincible, okay? He's not, he's very talented, right? And he runs like a goddamn truck. But yeah,
not to cut you off, Bruce. We got a little bit of news coming out in the rumor end of things. Elliott Shore-Parks is reporting that the Eagles have extended an official contract offer to Jadeveon Clowney.
That's fake news. That's from
Wait a minute. Stop. If Elliott Shore-Parks reported it, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, Elliott Shore-Parks has Howie Roseman on speed dial.
Yeah, but Elliott Shore-Parks is like you. He's a hot take guy.
No, he's not. He's a reporter.
Yeah, he's a reporter, hot take guy. I see what he's talking about. He's a hot take guy. But go ahead.
Yeah, listen, since you interrupted my 60 seconds, he does have a little bit of a hot take to him. But I do believe that if he's reporting it, it's got to be real. So anyway.
No, but hang on real quick because you said that. So
it's not just Elliott Shore-Parks.
It's not. So the guy that's put this up is the same guy that said that we were going to get X amount of players that did not go through. It's the same guy. His name is Dan
ODB too.
Huh?
Dan Cilio.
Yeah, he's doing all this reporting. But go ahead, Bruce.
So anyway, the Tennessee Titans, and it's not that I don't. I mean, there's something about them. They got a great coach. I think Vrabel's great, but there's just a part of me that thinks that they may not even win their division. I think the Indianapolis Colts are going to land up possibly competing for that division. I think the Texans are going to be dog shit. So and the Jaguars are just shit as it is. But I think it's going to be between the Titans and the Colts, and I just can't see the Titans repeating the success they had last year. Now they might squeak in, win the division because the division's awful, maybe make the playoffs, but they're not going to make that kind of run they made last year. No shot.
So last,
I thought that was
someone.
No, I have nothing. That's just great. That's me because I'm baffled by what he's necessarily saying. You believe in old ass Phillip Rivers. You believe in old ass Phillip Rivers. I apologize, Tim.
Hold up 1 second.
I always say hold on because that's my team that I'm going to talk about. The Indianapolis Colts.
That being said, go ahead, Tim.
Real quick, before Tim gets started, we're going to let Tim do his, and then there's something Tim wanted to – we all, as a podcast, agreed we wanted to talk about, and Tim decided to step up and be the man to talk about it for us. So right when he's done his, we're not going to comment on it. We'll just let him roll right into that.
All right, but real quick before that happens, Reese, I did say the division's dog shit. So I'm not guaranteeing the Colts are winning shit. I'm just saying that there's a good possibility the Titans have a tougher schedule this year. Anywho, as you were, Tim.
So I see a lot of quote-unquote experts picking the Colts to win that division. It's no lie that I've never liked Phillip Rivers. I think he's super overrated. I mean, not Matt Ryan overrated, but he's also a bit of a dick. So when he's not making kids, he's throwing interceptions. And I honestly don't think he finishes the season. I think he'll get benched for Brissett somewhere around like week 10 because he'll go out there and throw about 18 interceptions in the first 7 games. So I do not believe in the Colts at all. I mean, if they had Brissett, I still wouldn't believe in him, but I believe in him a little bit more than I do with Rivers. So I'll even say this. As much as I said that I don't like I wouldn't want to pick up Cam right now, I would take Cam over both those guys. And probably Terod Taylor too. So
hey Tim, they got Jacob Eason there too. Don't forget about him.
Yeah, but he's a project. He won't get in. He'll be like the third string quarterback. So maybe he gets in at the very end of the year. Unless he kills it in training camp. I mean, I can't see him getting in. He probably won't even get that much of a shot at all anywhere. So that I have on that. After that, we just wanted to the five of us been talking the last couple of days about certain things in life, and we like to keep it all about football here, but we're also human beings, and we are family men, all of us. Most of us have kids, and we're close to the rest of our families. And in the world, the last couple of days, I know it's not a news story, but most of the story has come into light in the last week. And we were talking about Ahmaud Arbery and the tragedy of a young man that was taken far too early. Our thoughts and prayers to his family. It's a tragedy. A young man that should still be with us is not with us. And we just want to give a shout out to everybody in the world. Just to be nicer to people and take care of your family and everything, because you never know when something happened. I mean, the kid was out. He went out for a jog. I'm sure his family thought he was coming back. And right now his family has to mourn his death. So just shout out to everyone. Take care of your family. Hug and kiss your kids tonight, your parents, everything. And just be nice to each other, because you never know when some kind of tragedy will come out of nowhere. And on the last note, I just want to also RIP to Little Richard. This guy's been in the spotlight for a long, long time, and a great entertainer. And just want to say a shout out and some love from the football guys to everybody. Stay safe out there in this tough times, and we'll see you next time. God bless.
God bless.